Here are some of my record players that I acquired recently. Here is a Steelman record player. It's a stereo unit, had this little detachable speaker, came in this little leather case, and it looks like somebody took some crayon or magic marker and marked all over this thing. Maybe I'll be able to get these out, I don't know. There's some scuffs, but I bid on this on eBay. I didn't expect it to work. I thought it would be, I had spare parts in mind, or like some little project I could do and fix it up and keep it in my collection or sell it or whatever. Well, or not sell it, but keep it. These are pretty cool little units. It's a Steelman right there. But when I got, and it has this little pouch right here, because this little speaker right here would sit right here, under here, and it would sit like that inside the case, and you could pull it out or whatever, but it has these little snap-in things. But and here is the platter, and it has this really dry rotted platter mat on it. The motor mounts are shot, or it's loose. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't. And I would power this up for you guys, but, well, the tone arm's broken, and I bet this cartridge is dead. And when I got it, I plugged it in. It has one of these little non-polarized plugs on it, back when safety standards weren't that scrupulous, or weren't that weren't really that high, or not high, but weren't really that, or they were really overlooked. But I went to plug this in, turned it on, nothing happened, because without the tubes, or it takes 2 miniature tubes, and the motor wouldn't start up, because I think one of them used it. I forget what it's called, but let me know in the comments, what kind of tubes, well, or what, I think, like, some part of the tube helps run the motor. But anyway, I asked YouTube user Radio TV Funnernut what kind of tubes it would go in here. I forget what he said, but yeah, I didn't feel like tracking down some tubes at that moment, so maybe one day you'll see this in operation. I may part it out. This little speaker looks like it's been busted open. But moving on, here's a little Emerson record player that I have, and it's basically identical, or it's virtually the exact same as this little True Tone big little portable phono, and these are from like the late 70s. But I did a video on this, or one of them, like 2 of them or whatever, and like I put, like, I think it was this one, I put a weirdo tone arm on it or something, but this one had a different tone arm, and I ended up breaking the volume switch. It doesn't, see how this one makes a detentable click. This one I completely broke like a dum-dum, because when I got this, I mean, it worked fine, but, and then I turned the volume knob one day, and I must have turned it too hard, and it broke. And then I was trying to take the cartridge out of here, and then I ended up breaking the tone arm off, or busting off of its post. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to part this thing out. So I may rip the capacitors out of it, maybe junk the case, sell the case, keep the case, I don't know. But the only difference is that this one's like a different pattern, and this one's denim, or faux denim. And I got this RCA Victor Kitty record player from the 1970s. They had different versions of these. They all look the same, except the tone arm was different. The tone arm on the other one I have, it's like the more static-y looking tone arm. It looks like this, but it's not as deep, or it doesn't go down as far. And I like that tone arm. But this one's my favorite. It's like this cheap little looking one. I don't know why I like this one, but I do. And I think this was like one of the last like universal replacement tone arms. It looked just like this. Like they sold universal replacement tone arms that looked just like this, and these were like the last ones. But I'd love to find a couple of universal tone arms exactly like this someday. But yeah, and it works pretty good. And then I got this Arvin electric transistor clock radio. I'll do a video on this someday. It's really cool. I used to have a True Tone one of these. Basically the same thing. Didn't work, and I was too little to fix it, so yeah, it ended up in the trash, unfortunately. And then I have what else? I got this Electone record player recently, and this is funny. It has this little flap that likes to flippity flap. The glue's shot on it, and it uses a single tube. It has its filter capacitor in there. This is a Westinghouse. I have its tan sibling over there. That sounded bad. I have its tan colored, or tan or beige twin over there. That's tan sibling. No infringement intended. Anyway, I have, like I did a video on it like a couple months ago. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm not going to do a video on this. Well, maybe I might, because this was Radio TV Phononuts originally, and he sold it, and the guy who bought it sold it, and I bought it. So yeah, but when I upload this, I think I can try and find a link in the description or whatever. Then I also got some records at the thrift store, and I went with my grandmother to some thrift stores in Sumter County. One of them I went and got some of these records at the South Sumter Plaza, where the old Walmart used to be. But anyway, at the other thrift store we went to, it said, out by, I think, the only dentist out there or whatever. Anyway, they said all records $1 each as sold on eBay. Well, if I wanted to pay eBay prices, I wouldn't have to leave the house, and I'd just stay home and buy records on eBay. But yeah, so I ended up only buying 2, and I don't know where the other one is. This one's Boogie Nights Heat Wave. And I ended up cracking this record, and I ended up hot gluing it because I'm like, I'm not letting this expensive record go to waste. So yeah, so I ended up just doing that. And now, let me plug this in back here. There we go. Let's move this shit right here. And here's my Zenith TV from 1995 that I got for free. Some guy didn't want it, and I saw it on Craigslist, so I'm like, yeah, screw it. I don't want anybody junking it. But yeah, so there you go, bye.